Assalamu alaikum. This is Professor Muhammad Hassan Khan, and today we are going to start lecture 8 of week 8 of the course Public Policy. So, this is a chapter in which we are going to talk about the political executives and leadership, and this is the whole list of topics, and these topics we have to cover in this chapter. So, before wasting time, just have a quick view. And these are the topic that we have to discuss. So let's start with slide number 1, which is the branches of government of Pakistan. If you understand this slide, this first slide of this chapter, you're going to understand the whole concept of the government functions, the branches of the government of Pakistan. So let's see what this thing tell to us. Pakistan has three main branches of government, each with separate powers and responsibilities to ensure a system of check and branches and balances. So these are the three, you can say that three powers, separate powers. First is the legislatures, second is the executives, third is the judiciary. So these are the three main powers of you can say that the basic role are the three divided powers of Pakistan. So let's see first thing about this, because the whole chapter is mainly depend on the executive. Let's see this content of the topics that mostly we are going to talk about the executive. So just understand what the executive is. The executive branch, which is known as the government, role implements and enforce law. What the government basically do: implement and enforce law. Before the executive, we have the legislatures. What are the legislatures? Just see the roles. Legislators are the parliaments. These are the parliaments. These executives are known as the government. Last, which is the judicial branch, which is known as the court. So this is number 1. Second is executive. Third is judiciary. Let's see the legislative branch, which is the parliament. What the role of parliament is: make law for the country. They are making the law. What executives are doing, what the government is doing: implement the law and enforce law. Implement and enforces law. They are making, they are implementing. What the judicial branch or judicial system, you can say that department, doing: explain law and ensure justice. Making, implementing, and you can say that explaining and ensuring justice to the within the country. Let's see legislative branch. Already understand they are making the law. Structure, what are they? National Assembly, which is known as the lower house. National Assembly, known as the lower house, elected by the people. National Assembly, again I'm repeating, no, lower house elected by the people. Over here, second, we have Senate, which is upper house. This legislative branch, parliament, is divided into two. First, National Assembly, second is Senate. Senate is known as the upper house, the lower house is known as the National Assembly. Okay, the upper house represent provinces equally. In Senate, we're talking about the provinces. In National Assembly, elected by the people. Whole election mainly done by this. Okay. Main function. What is the function of the legislative branch? What they do? Already understand. Making law. Making law. Budget approvals. Oversight of executive. Oversight of executive. Okay. They are the first, second, third. Now moving to the second part, the executive. Executive branch, which is known as the government. What they implement and enforces law, already discussed. Key features: who are they? President, head of the state, mostly ceremonials. Simply understand, head of the state. Second, prime minister, head of the government, head of the state, head of the government, a real executive authority. Then we have the federal cabinet. What we have? Federal cabinet. Who are the ministers and advisors? This third one is prime minister. Below than prime minister, we have federal cabinet. In federal cabinet, we have the ministers and advisors. Number four, we have bureaucracy. Includes federal secretaries and civil servant. Going to discuss in the upcoming slides. And what are the functions? Administer laws and run government department. Mean implement, administer means implement laws and run government departments. Formulate policies and develop plans. Okay. The main function is implement and enforce law. Third part is judicial branch, which is known as the court. We already know that what courts do. Role: explain law and ensure justice. Main bodies: we have Supreme Court of Pakistan, which is known as the highest court. Supreme Court is known as the highest court. After Supreme Court, we have the High Court, one in each province. Every province have their High Court. First, Supreme Court. Second is High Court. Third, lower courts, districts and session courts. Okay, lower than the High Court. And what are the main functions? Ensure justice and protect right. Interpret the constitution. Settle dispute between individual and or institutions. Okay, the main function of the judiciary or the court is to provide justice or to explain the law. Okay, already if you have understand this slide, branches of the government, you're going to understand the whole chapter. Second thing, after this, second characteristic of political executive branch of the government of Pakistan. We're talking about this characteristic. We're talking about the characteristics. So elected leadership composed of elected representative. Example: prime minister, minister. They are elected leadership. Second, policy makers, responsible for making key national and international policies. They are making the policies international, and they are just responsible for making key national and international policies. Okay. Third, temporary tenure. They have the temporary tenure, hold office for the limited term, usually 5 years. This department, especially president, prime minister, they have, you can say that, a limited time period. Okay, 5 years. Now talking about the accountable to parliament. They have to give all the things to the parliament, because parliament is superior than the political executive. Okay, the executive. So accountable to parliament, must answer to the National Assembly and the public. National Assembly, okay, and the public, they have to give the answer. Decision making power, take final decisions on governance and public matters. What they do? Decision making power, take final decision on governance or and public matters. Talking about this is the little characteristic of this political executives branches of government of Pakistan. Let's see the function of the political executive in Pakistan. What are the functions? For policy formulation, they're just formulating. Law enforcement, they have to put the law. International relations, defense and security, budget management, crisis management, and other than that, these are the few most highlighted things. Okay, these are the functions of political executive in Pakistan. So next, talking about the members of the executive leadership. We have already discussed the members, so let's discuss this members of executive leadership in detail. So first of all, we have the president, head of the state. Second, prime minister, head of the government. Federal minister, head of the ministries. Okay, now we are talking about the ministers of state. federal, then minister of state, assist federal minister. This person have to accountable to this. Okay, now talking about advisors to the prime minister. Advisors to the prime minister, what are they doing? Non-elected policy advisors. What the main thing? They are the non-elected policy advisor. So after that, advisors to the prime minister, we have special assistant to the prime minister. They are the special assistant, support in the specific area. For example, if any matter come to them, to the prime minister, if the advisors they are not able to give any kind of you can say that suggestion or any not if they are not able to do any kind of thing, so the work of special advisors, like sorry, special assistant to the prime minister, which is S short form is SAPMS. So they support in specific areas. Okay, provincial chief ministers. We have also the chief ministers of you can say that the provincial chief minister, head of the provincial government. Okay, so this is you can say the chain of the executive leadership. Now, talking about the Prime Minister and Cabinet. First of all, talk about the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the most powerful executive authority in Pakistan as the leader of the majority party or coalitions in the National Assembly. Okay, the Prime Ministers, what he do? Appoint cabinet members, lead policy development, coordinate inter-ministerial activities, oversees internal and external affairs. Okay, what the function of the prime minister? These are the four functions, and other than that, okay, who is the prime minister? Prime minister is the most powerful executive authority in Pakistan. Okay, prime minister talked about that. Now talking about the we have talked about the prime minister. Now we are going to talk about the cabinet, what the cabinet is. Before going to see about the cabinet, just see the chain: president, prime minister, federal cabinet. Okay, cabinet, what federal cabinet is? The cabinet is composed of federal ministers. Okay, we have already discussed in the first slide. Federal cabinets, ministers and advisors. Okay, ministers and advisors, they come in the cabinet. Okay, the cabinet is composed of the federal ministers, ministers of state, and advisors. Its function collectively to make executive decision and formulate policies. The cabinet is answerable to the National Assembly. Okay, the cabinet come in the part of the federal in the legislative. So legislative have to give the answers to the National Assembly, because the National Assembly is greater than the government. Okay, they are the superior, they are the first one who come in the power. Okay, first we have the, you can say that the parliament. In parliament again say in legislatures we have parliament. In executive we known as the government. In judiciary we known as the court. Okay, so the cabinet have to give the answer to the National Assembly. The federal cabinets, what they have, what includes, like you can say the ministers lead specific ministries. Example: finance minister, foreign affairs minister, education minister. So in federal cabinets, what they have ministers of the state. Secondly, they have the minister of the state. You can also see over here federal ministers, minister of the states. They all are come in the, where they come in the cabinet: president, prime minister, and after that we have a cabinet. Okay, just see over here in first slide, president, prime minister, federal cabinet. In federal cabinets we have ministers and advisors. We have we can say that the federal minister, minister of states, advisors. Okay, we have all these things in the cabinet. Okay, advisors and special assistants. Okay, expert appointment by the prime ministers. Experts appointment by the prime ministers, prime minister for specific policy area. In cabinet we also have the, you can say, you can just see here, a special assistant to the prime minister. Okay, so special assistant, who we have already seen this thing in our previous slide. Okay, expert previous special assistant for whom? For the prime minister. Okay, we have already discussed. The cabinet meets regularly under the leadership of the prime minister. They come under the leadership of the prime minister to discuss national issue, approve policies, and make key decisions. Okay, what they are doing? The cabinet meet regularly under the leadership of the prime minister. This come in under the leadership of the prime minister to discuss national issue, approve policies, and make key decision. Okay, this is the function of the cabinet. Let's talk about the legislature. First thing, talking about this, the legislature is one of the main branch of government responsible for making the law. Okay, this is also part of the government, or you can say that the parliament, because parliament is also known as the government. Okay, it's the main part of the, you can say that government or parliament responsible for making law. They are the one who are making law. It is also known as the law making body. Legislatures are known as the law making body of a country. Okay, the legislature in Pakistan is bicameral, two houses. It have the two houses. Bi means two, camel means houses. Body known as the Majlis Shura consists of. In legislatures we have upper house, and secondly we have the lower house. Upper house is known as the Senate, the lower house is known as the National Assembly. Let's discuss about the Senate and National House over here. Its main functions are lawmaking, budget approval, oversights of the executives. They're just looking the executive. Constitutional amendment. If, for example, if they have to make any kind of changes in the constitution, so these are the one who can make the changes in the, or they can make the amendments in the constitution. Okay, let's see the Senate, which is known as the upper house. Senate is known as the upper house. The Senate is the upper house of parliament, part of the parliament, representing the provinces. What Senate is doing? Representing the provinces. When you talk about the provinces, it ensure equal representation of all provinces regardless of population. It's not talking about the population. The main thing is that the Senate is known as the province. It's mainly the upper house. In upper house, the main function of the Senate is they are representing the provinces. It ensure equal representation. Mean in Pakistan we have the four provinces like Sindh, Punjab, Balochistan, or KPK, or Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So the same right is divided equally in all the provinces. So this is the function of the Senate. Okay, now let's see over here. In Senate there are 100 members. What tenure? 6 years. Half of the members retire every 3 years. Like 1 year, like 6 years, and half of the members, mean to say every in 6 year, like 2 times the you can say that the people come in the Senate. Okay, like after completing 3 years they retire. Okay, if one come, they have to complete 3 years and retire. And the tenure, it's of 6 years. In 6 year tenure we have the two members of the Senate. First complete in the half, means in the 3 years. Second come in the 3 year, have to complete in the third year. Okay, the power. The Senate cannot initiate many bills but play a key role in legislation, review, and national integrations. Okay, what this mean? Cannot initiate many bills, like for example, but play a key role in legislations, review, and national integration. So like you can say that we have the Senate, upper house, represent the provinces equality. Like for example, if there is any law going to pass, just see over here, the Senate cannot initiate, they cannot like start the money bill, but play a key role in legislation. Like they can play a key role, but they cannot start the bill. They cannot start writing, but they play a key role reviewing and national integration. Like, we can understand this thing after reading this, like what the National Assembly. After completing this, I will just start this again. National Assembly is the lower house consisting of members elected directly by the people through general elections. Okay, total members 136. 336 include reserved seats for women and minorities. Tenure 5 years. Key functions: initiating and passing the law. They are not initiating, but initiating and passing the law include money bill. They are not initiating, but what they are doing, they are reviewing the bill of National Assembly. Okay, electing the prime minister. They have the power to elect the prime minister, holding the executive accountable through questions and debates. They have the power holding the executive accountable, means to say they are leading, they are taking the answers from executive, from the president, from the prime minister, federal cabinets, each body. They're superior, and they are taking the accountability from the executive. Okay, where were we? Yeah, National Assembly. So the thing is, the Senate cannot initiate money bill, but who can? The National Assembly do this. Okay, but play a key role in legislations review. But they are reviewing it, and national integration. Like, mean to say, they are the passing the bill, have the power, including the money bills, pass initiating, and talk about the Senate. They only have to review that bill of the national integration. Okay, the national means the National Assembly. Talking about that. Okay, I hope you have cleared these 2 points: the Senate and the National Assembly. Now, let's see the difference between the Senate versus National Assembly. This is literally, you can say that the chart. Features: Senate, National Assembly. House types: upper house. Senate is upper house, National Assembly is the lower house. Representation: equal for all provinces. We have already talked about that. The you can say that the Senate will talk about the provinces. Okay, representation based on population. Okay, talking about the term, Senate have 6 years. On the other hand, National Assembly have the 5 years. Money bill cannot originate or pass, but can introduce and pass. Okay, the main difference between the Senate and the National Assembly is. Now, talking about the federal secretaries. Federal secretaries, what are they? Just see. Federal secretaries are the top civil servant in each ministry. Okay, they are the top civil servant. They serve as administrative heads and ensure the implementation of the government policies. Federal secretaries are the part of the legislative. So federal secretaries are a top civil servants. They are the top civil servants in each ministry. In each ministry, like education ministry, or you can also see budget making, or something like that. So okay, okay. They serve as a administrative heads and ensure the implementations of government policies. Okay, they are the administrative heads. Okay, let's see position and ranks. What position they mainly used to have? The whole BPS, they have having the grade 22, the highest grade in Pakistan civil bureaucracy. Pakistan's civil bureaucracy. Okay, they belong to the Pakistan Administrative Service. What is short form of that? PAS, which is known as the Pakistan Administrative Service, or top civil services. Okay, appointed by the Prime Minister or establishment division. Who appoint them? The Prime Minister appoint the federal secretaries. Okay, they mainly come in the cabinet. You can say that. Key responsibilities of the federal secretaries. What are short visions? Well, let's see. Policy implementation, executive government policies effectively, ministry administration, manage day-to-day operations and staff, minister liaison, support and advise the federal ministers, budget and planning, handle budget and development projects. Last but not the least the responsibility is the representation, represent ministry in national and international forum. Okay, so federal secretaries are the people which you can say that having the highest grade, or they are also the top civil servant in each ministry, serve as the administrative heads. Okay, you can also see the responsibility. So moving to a next slide, which is election and voting system. We have already discussed this chapter in depth. Just have a quick view. Pakistan follows representative and democratic electoral system. Key features: universal adult franchises, first past the post system, election commission of Pakistan. We have already discussed in our part 1. Citizen age 18 and above eligible to vote. Second, we can say that the candidate with the highest number of votes win. It's commonly understood, easy, or it's understandable. Third is the ECP, which is known as the Election Commission of Pakistan, conduct and monitors elections for National Assembly, provincial assemblies, and the local bodies. Okay, let's see administrations and the government. The administrative structure of Pakistan is divided into federal, provincial, and the local level. Each level operates under the constitution provisions with specific responsibility. We can see that federal government, we have provincial government, and a local government. In federal government, we can see that they handle defense, foreign affairs, currency, and national level policies. In provincial government, manage education, health, agriculture, and intra-provincial transport. Okay, this is the work of the provincial government. Last, we have the local government. Provide grassroots governance, include sanitation, like we can say that the sanitary system, water roads and public service. This is the work of the administration and government: federal government, provincial government, local government. Okay, now talking about the civil servant. This is our last topic, civil servant. Let's see civil services from the back. Civil services form the backbone of the executive branches. These are the backbone of the executive branches. They are responsible for the continuity and implementation of the government policies. Who are the civil services? What they work? Civil services form the backbone of this executive branch. Executive branch is like starting from the president, second prime ministers, and cabinets, and other than. Okay, these are the who are the at the backbone of the executive branch. They are responsible for the continuity and implementation of the government policies. Types of civil services: we have Pakistan Administrative Service. We have already seen this in our previous slide, Pakistan Administrative. So these are the few civil services: Pakistan Service of Pakistan, PSP, Foreign Service of Pakistan, ESP, Pakistan Customs and Inland Revenue Service. You can say that the land talking, they are working on the land. Or last but not least, that is Provincial Civil Service, PCS. Okay, this is all from this chapter. I hope you have learned new thing in this chapter, and if you understand this first slide of this chapter, I hope you will understand the whole complete chapter. So thank you very much for listening this video, and once again, I just hope that you're going to learn new things regarding the Pakistan. Some, you can say that Pakistan branches of the government of Pakistan. Okay, thank you very much. Allah Hafiz. Take care. Bye bye. See you.